granting you permission to sit down somewhere.
Sit down.
Sit
down somewhere. Sit down.
We ain't dying for this.
We ain't dying for this.
Yeah. We're no longer saving the world. We're no longer coming to rescue everyone else. Like, I'm rescuing me.
You're watching We Ain't Dying for This, a Black woman's guide to liberation. And I'm your host, Crystle Johnson. We are a community of Black women demanding our collective liberation through radically soft living. Each Thursday, we feature the stories of Black women who have set themselves free from the expectations of others and are choosing to live on their own terms.
Hey, y'all. Welcome to another episode of the We Ain't Dying for This podcast, a community of Black women demanding our collective liberation through radically soft living. I am your host, Crystle Johnson, and I'm excited to have a conversation today about hope as liberation with my new sis, Brittany King.
Hey, sis.
Hey, girl.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Likewise.
Yeah. It's good to be in the room with you to talk about hope.
It's an honor. I'm so excited. I feel like we're about to cut up, and I'm here for it.
Yes, me too. Me too. And I like to start these episodes off pretty light. I want you to tell people who you are, and then I want to jump into some this or that.
Sure. So I always describe myself as a preacher's kid and a middle child, which translates to me being certified crazy. But I say that because I'm naturally a dissenter, and I naturally want to understand the nuance behind why we do what we do.
Yeah.
So as you know, in corporate, that's made for an interesting journey. The daughter of a preacher in the South, you can imagine he wasn't interested in me asking questions all the time, but had a beautiful upbringing. My parents have been married 45 years. I have deep Louisiana roots. I always say, the Texas, Louisiana, a little something like Beyonce. Mm-hmm. But, lover of life, lover of people, and dealer of hope.
Yeah, I love that. Hope dealer.
Yes.
Yeah, because, it could be the other thing.
Right. Dealer. We're going to do hope.
We're going to do hope today.
Yes.
Absolutely. That part. Where are you from? You said the South.
So I'm from here.
Okay, from Texas.
Native Houstonian. Been here all my life.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And then the Louisiana part.
So my family is from Louisiana. My parents are from Louisiana. Grandmothers were there. So I always say, I have been deep roots, Creole folks, but I've been here all my life.
Okay.
All my life for sure.
I love that. So I'm from the South, what I call the South, Virginia.
Okay.
And somebody called it the New South.
The South and the left.
The New South. Yeah. And I am actually adopted. So in my biological family, because I know my mother my whole life, I'm the middle child.
Okay.
And in my adoptive family, I'm the baby.
Okay.
But also I'm like the first in my family to do a lot of things. So to go to college, graduate, have a corporate job. So I think I'm just it's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot of excellence, though. Let's be clear. It's a lot of excellence.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Of course.
So we talked about this or that. Mm-hmm. So I got a few questions for you.
I got answers.
So the first one is it Issa Rae or Quinta Brunson?
Okay. So I'm unapologetically for Black women, so this was hard. Mm-hmm. But Issa Rae, full stop. Yeah. Because I'm rooting for everybody Black.
Yes,
and we'll get into this when we talk a little bit more about my story, but I'm rooting for everybody Black. Yeah. And I make no apologies for that.
Yes, we love Issa. We do. She's the bomb. She just keeps expanding and
she's
doing
just
more
who
things.
She is.
Yes,
and I love that.
She is.
I love that about her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely tell people sometimes, why are you so much like you are? Sometimes it's meant to be funny, but other times it's like, really?
Right.
Why are you so much like you?
Yeah. Yes.
So next I'll ask, Uno or spades? I feel like because you're a PK, it's probably Uno.
It's definitely Uno.
Okay.
And I feel ashamed. I don't know how to play spades. I know.
Oh.
The audacity of me, but I don't. And I'm not gonna pretend. And my parents could play spades. I'm like, how y'all just set me up for failure?
Yeah,
how
it's
did y'all
their
do that?
fault. They should have taught you.
They're responsible. But I'm mean in Uno. Mm-hmm. I am mean in the game of Uno. So Uno for sure.
So do you do Uno where you stack things on top of each other?
Stacking. We +4. We drawing in stuff. Yeah, we're doing all the things.
Oh, that is wild.
Yes.
That makes for a real long game of Uno.
Oh, yes.
Somebody with a whole half a deck in their hand.
And make no apologies. And I play with my daughters. My mother used to always tell me, be kind to the baby. No, she gonna go into the world and get beat in Uno. So I'm gonna be the first person to do it. I'm gonna be the first person. But no, I love Uno. Very competitive by nature.
Okay.
I don't know how to play spades.
Yes, I love Uno too. So when I went home for Christmas, well, actually it wasn't was before Christmas. My dad's birthday is in late December. And we played both Uno and spades. The Uno deck didn't have all the cards.
Oh.
So we had to start making up rules and stuff. But we wanted to play. We wanted to play with each other.
Y'all were making up rules during the game?
Not during the game,
okay,
but before. Because it was like a different version of Uno. Okay. You know, it's all these different versions now. I like the classic version. But I was like, what does this card even mean? Yeah. We were like, we'll just say that it means this.
Yeah. See, I was like, wait, y'all can't be making it up as you go, but I got you.
Not as we go. But before, when we looked at what we had and like all the wild cards, we were like, what do these even mean? So we just made up some rules, and it was still fun, but literally it was not a full deck of cards. But it was fun. And we were playing with a 6-year-old too, like teaching her how to play Uno.
Oh, was y'all beating the baby down?
Yeah, her mama made her draw several times. And I was like, that's wrong. I was like, your mama made you draw. Here you go.
I'm that mama. Get them cards.
Get them cards.
All is fair in love and Uno. Get these cards.
Exactly. I feel like I know the answer to this next one too, but you might surprise me. Okay. R&B brunch or gospel brunch?
Gospel brunch.
Okay.
Gospel brunch. Full stop. Only because like growing up, we only listened to Christian music, which I'm okay with that. Like I'm unapologetically a Jesus girl. But listen, you gonna get me with a snotty nose, ugly cry on some good gospel music,
girl.
So we have good food and just like the opportunity to like praise and worship God. Gospel brunch, hands down.
I love that so much. I am a TikTok scroller, so I always on my FYP, I'm always seeing all of these folks singing gospel music, and I ran across this video of like people at Christmas singing gospel. And I was like, man, they just sound amazing. And they're so anointed. And it's like you just sitting on your couch crying for people you don't know.
Oh, it'd be good. When the gospel music is good, it's real good. And I love it. Now, the R&B brunch is nice too, but I feel like I gotta be in the mood. Yeah. Because that's like a moment. If I'm like trying to catch a vibe, then yes. But like I'm always down for gospel music.
Yeah. But the gospel always shows up at the R&B brunch.
It does.
Yeah, it always shows up.
It does. That's a good point. A good point. It does.
So either way, you still get the gospel.
Yes.
Either way. So when I think about, let's jump into the conversation about hope. When I think about hope, the people that pop into my head are Obama, Kamala Harris, Black people who have been like very inspirational. When you think about the lies that we tell ourselves about hope, because I think we have this, we have this image in our mind of what hope is like and historically what we've heard hope is. What are the lies we tell ourselves about hope?
I think the biggest lie is that hope is not a strategy. In my opinion, hope is the strategy, because if you look at any changes made over history, any people who left a big impact on this world, they first had the audacity to believe and had hope that they could. Yeah. And so I think often we're told like it's not a concrete plan, and I'm like, no, it is the strategy, because it gives you clarity of thought to understand where do I want to go, to be able to really architect how you get there. So I think that's one of the biggest lies. Like I'm a PK, so Proverbs, it talks about hope deferred makes the heart sick. So like who's out here living with a sick heart? Like sis, we need hope.
Sis, say that.
Come on now.
Say that.
We need it.
Ooh. Say that.
Listen, I'm gonna talk to you nice, I promise.
Listen, this whole year has been real interesting for me. I shared this previously, but in 2022, I hosted my first retreat. And I hosted it in Belize, and I decided I was going to host it in December in May. So the gurus were like, nah, girl, you need more time. There's no way you're about to host a retreat and like get people to sign up and actually sell out the retreat. And I was like, I don't really care what you say. I believe that I can and I will. And I did. And
you hoped that every woman would be there, would be impacted.
Yes.
Right? And so it's like even the people you said, the Obamas, like the people who have made history, who have changed the trajectory of what it means to be Black in America. Like think about and his book is called The Audacity of Hope, Barack Obama's book. But you think about how he not had the temerity to literally bet on himself.
Yes.
And say, I want to be out here as the first Black person to run the free world. Like hope is the strategy.
Yeah.
It is.
Absolutely. Yes. And I'm still like standing in that hope for me. When it comes to this podcast, like how I want it to evolve and how I want it to exist and how I want people to resonate with it in the world. It's sometimes hard to hope because it's like, girl, we got jobs. We gotta work our jobs.
That's a hashtag. It's hard to hope. That's a hashtag. Wow.
Yeah. Man, I didn't even think about that.
It's hard to hope.
Sometimes it is very hard.
It is.
Yeah.
But think about the alternative.
Having a sick heart.
And I'm trying to be healthy.
Yeah.
Like, we need to be at the R&B brunch, the gospel brunch, like, you know. So I think that it's really key to all of life's success. I really believe that. And I don't think that as Black women, we give ourselves the grace and the space to have hope.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, we got to do this thing. Oh, I got to, go on this career ladder. Oh, I got to be this to this person. And it's like, sis, settle.
Yeah.
And what are your hopes? Bump the hopes for the company.
Yes.
And everyone else coming around you. But like, what are your hopes? What are the things that bring your soul alive?
Yeah.
So.
That was also a hashtag, sis settle.
Ooh.
That's good.
That was good.
That's good. That was real good.
That was good. I love this. I
sis
love
settle.
this.
Yeah, because it's basically like chill.
Yeah.
Like just take a step back, breathe.
Yeah. And hope, like the other thing too, I think that the perception is that hope is not action, but it is.
Yes.
And you know this from the corporate space. You have to marry tactical things with strategy.
Yes.
So hope is the strategy part so that you could tactically do and be what you need to do and be. I always say, like, I'm at the point in my life where I'm trading my to-do list for a to-be list. Who do I want to be in this world? And that's someone who distills hope, who has the power, or not the power, but the audacity to say, like, Crystle, I see you. You're excellent. How can I support you? But also, like, say that to myself.
Yes.
So I think it's key.
Absolutely. And that also brings up something else that I said recently. It actually came from Brittany Noel.
Okay.
She does Heart Talks.
Okay.
Do you know who that is? Mm-mm. Okay, so she's like a therapist, and she goes around and she does these pop-up events called Heart Talks. And people will like come up to the front and she gives them therapy like right there on the spot. My God. She was talking to someone and she said something like, I created a life that I don't love. And now I want to create something else. And that has like stuck with me over the last few months. It's just been sticking with me because I'm like, you know what? I came into the world like after high school and I was like, okay, I have to go achieve all of these things. I have to go to college. I got to graduate and get good grades. I need to get a job. I need to make money. I need to make more money and more money and more money. I have to buy the home. I have to get married. I have to do all these different things. And it's like you keep your head down and you do those things. And I built my life around safety and security. And now I'm like, I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't want to do this anymore.
Because that's what everyone tells you you're supposed to do.
And they tell you you're supposed to be happy about it. And maybe you are happy for a little while. But I think that at some point, you're like, wait, there has to be more to life than this.
Yes.
And you saying, like, when you don't hope, your heart is sick. And I felt that so much because literally when I was just doing all the things that I think I'm supposed to do, I felt depressed. I felt anxiety. I just felt like, what am I doing? Like I felt like I was walking around aimlessly and did not understand what am I supposed to do? Who am I supposed to be? I don't know. Like I don't have any idea. But when I was able to settle and be still, then I was able to get really clear about, okay, these are the things that I want to focus on. And when it comes to this job, I have clarity about what am I using it for? Like, what is it that I need to get out of it?
Right.
And then where is it taking me?
Yeah.
And you have to be able to settle in order to get to that point.
Absolutely. Because hopelessness has a high price tag. You put your head down and your hope went down too.
Yeah.
And so I think that just the realization that, like, this isn't what I thought life was going to be when I checked all these boxes, man, it's freedom in that.
Yeah.
It's freedom
so much freedom. Yes. And that is why we focus so much on freedom and liberation on this show.
I love it. We need it.
Yes.
We need to be granted permission as Black women, you know?
Yeah.
I don't want to save the world. I have 2 daughters. I'm like, I'm not, and I was a teen mom, so middle child crazy. But Like, I'm no longer trying to raise strong Black women.
Yeah.
I'm raising intentional ones. I'm raising hopeful ones. I'm raising ones who are thoughtful about the choices they make in the world, but strong.
Yeah.
We're no longer saving the world. We're no longer coming to rescue everyone else. Like, I'm rescuing me.
Yes.
You know, and so I think it's just generationally, when you think about the fabric of America, how the Black woman has always saved everyone, like,
Yeah. And collectively, we have been like, you can keep it.
I'm good on that.
You can keep it.
I'm good on that.
You can keep it, because I'm thinking about myself right now. And I know that at this point, my work is helping Black women who are saving the world to save themselves first. So important.
So, because when I saw that, it hit me, because I was like, where were you? Like, I needed you. I needed someone to say, BK, you don't have to save the world.
Yeah.
And how are you saving yourself? Like, come on, sis, it serves none of us if you do all of these things excellently and you're not okay.
Yeah.
And so I want to tell you the genesis of me dubbing myself the neighborhood hope dealer.
Okay.
So on a Monday night, in August of 2018, I got a call from my OBGYN. And he said, Brittany, where are you? And I was like, oh, I'm leaving my sister's house, you know. And he's like, I need you to come into the office tomorrow. And it's like 7 o'clock, Crystle. I'm like, this brother don't call me during work hours. So I know he's going to tell me something. And he said, I was like, just tell me. He goes, Brittany, I'm sorry to tell you, but you have cancer in your breast, and it's also in your lymph nodes. And I remember driving to my parents' house, not with this feeling of like feeling sorry for myself, but just like numb.
Yeah.
Because the cumulative journey that I had been on in life just seemed like a lot, right? At that very same time, I worked. I was working for a global consulting firm. I was literally taking chemotherapy, like getting chemo pumped into my veins, taking calls with leaders, my clients all over the world.
Really?
And nobody said to me, you have cancer, girl, sit down.
Yeah.
No one said it to me. And I remember I went through treatment. I had 6 months of chemotherapy. I had surgery, and then I did 6 weeks of radiation. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna get back to life. So I finished in July. And then in August, I woke up one day and I just knew something was wrong with my body. And I ended up in MD Anderson in the hospital for 15 days. And the doctor, when I went to the ER, she had this look on her face, this Hispanic woman. And I was working. I had my computer out, because who's gonna take care of these kids? Who's gonna pay these bills? I'm a single mom. What?
I am.
And he was like, she looked at me and she said, hey, whatever's stressing you out, it has to go. Cancer is born from, and it feeds off of stress. And she's like, close your laptop.
Yes.
Closed it. So probably I'm in the hospital, day 7, 8, 9. And a Black man who was my oncologist, the lead oncologist, was like, you don't have to work. My sister told me, go out on FMLA. Yes. And I was like I'm getting emotional, but I'm like, I can't. She's like, girl,
you have cancer.
Go out on.
You are in the hospital.
You're in the hospital. You kick cancer's butt, but like you're still.
Yeah.
And so thank you, sissy. I love you, sissy. But like, just even that made me realize, like, man, please. I'm not sacrificing myself anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. I left corporate America 18 months ago. I was working with a dope Black woman.
Yeah.
Chief diversity officer. And I went to her and I said, I need you to lay me off. Why? You can have any job you want, one that's not here. Because you're not going to kill me.
Yeah.
Because golden handcuffs are still handcuffs.
Girl.
Come on, church.
You are, yes.
Come on, church.
Say that.
Golden handcuffs are still handcuffs.
Ooh, they are handcuffs. They are handcuffs.
Listen. Was making such good money. And I just was like, I can't. I danced with the brevity of life. I was at death's doorstep, literally. Like, I would go to my cancer center and see people collapse. They're not getting up. People I started cancer with, or who got diagnosed after me, died.
Yeah.
For what? To go into these corporate spaces and give my all, to be talked to crazy, unappreciated. And listen, corporate is what you make it. It's been a beautiful blessing to myself and my children. It's provided a life for us. But everything has a cost. So the opportunity cost for me, I had to really look at myself and say, you want to die over this? We ain't dying for this.
We ain't dying for this. No.
We're not. So you could take your nice 6-figure check. You could take your RSUs, the bonuses, and I'm going to head out.
Yeah. I love that for you. And I'm speaking to the camera at this point. If you are a Black woman and you are struggling, whether that is from something physical or mental or any other disorder that you got going on, look at your benefits. Go out on leave if you need to go out on leave. It is not a bad thing to go out on leave. You need to go take care of yourself. Them people gonna survive without you, because you know what? When Brian Thompson, was that his name? When Brian Thompson was murdered, the United CEO, they replaced him the same day. The same day. And trust and believe, if you go out, they gonna figure out somebody to do that work. Somebody gonna do it.
They don't have to.
Yeah.
I tell my kids all the time, everything's figure outable. These corporate folks, they have money,
Yes.
they have strategy. And let me now talk to you, Black woman, because there's nothing beautiful, there's nothing inherently right about you sacrificing yourself for anyone. Corporate folks included, your nice paycheck included. I'm not saying go out and make a crazy decision like BK.
Yeah.
But what I am saying is that you matter. I see you. I don't see you, but I see you. And we are the most educated, perhaps the most brilliant group of people in the United States. I'm granting you permission. I'm granting you permission to sit down somewhere.
Sit down.
Take
Sit
care
down.
of your-
Sit down somewhere. Sit down. It's so important. I'm telling you, because when you are, like you said, stress invites disease into your body. Stress also causes overwhelm, chaos, brain fog, all those things. I have experienced those things myself this year. And I took a step back. And before I took a step back, I was like, how are these things gonna get done that I was working on? I was like, I have somebody starting on my team. Like, what are they gonna do? And at some point I was like,
Figure it
what
out.
am I gonna do about me? Because
Yes.
I'm suffering.
Yes.
I am suffering. Like,
Suffering
absolutely
and still
suffering.
thinking about other people.
Exactly.
And
Like,
I just don't want to bear that cross no more, Crystle.
girl, I couldn't put sentences together. I was struggling. And then I've worked from home for 4 years on top of that, and not really had like a lot of connection with people.
Yep.
So I'm like, I can't. And there are some other episodes that will come up in the season where I'll talk about like some of the things that I've done over the last few weeks when I've been on FMLA, because I'm like, girl, you need to get back to you, and you need to figure out like, what is it that you want to do? Who do you want to be?
Yes.
How do you want to show up in the world?
Yes.
And I needed to give myself the space to be able to do that and to like get to a healthy place.
Because if you're not okay, none of this matters.
No.
Like the sexy corporate pedigree, the nice jobs, the child, don't none of it matter
yeah.
at all.
Exactly. That part. So you talked about how hope transformed you. And thank you for being vulnerable and sharing that story. And I think it's so important, because there's so many of us who need to go out, need to take time for ourselves, and we just not doing it. Not doing it. Don't even think about it as an option, because your ass was in. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know if I can cuss. I can cuss.
It's your podcast. It's your podcast.
You was in the hospital bed on your laptop taking calls.
Getting chemo, sick as a dog.
Oh my God. Yeah. So if nothing else that anybody gets from this episode is use your benefits, explore what they are, use them, you earned them.
You earn them.
Yeah. Take
And
that
take
time
leave every
off.
year if you need to. Like I've become this unofficial advisor to Black women who need to go on leave.
Yeah.
And I'm like, let me write your letter. We need to get the legal team together. I got you, because you have options.
You do.
You have options, and go take time off, get paid for it,
Yes.
and do it again next year. Because who gonna check you?
Exactly.
Who
That
gonna
part.
check you?
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. So when you think about, like, let's say, for instance, there is a woman who is listening, a Black woman, because this podcast is for Black women. And to your point, sometimes we don't feel like we have options. We feel like the only thing that is available to us is to just keep going and stay the course that we've already been on. So what would you tell a Black woman who needs to lean into hope?
Man, I wish that I could look at every Black woman watching this, and I'm going to talk to you straight, and I wish that I could hold your hands and say, sis, I got you, but I need you to have you.
Yes.
So there are two things that I would say. Number one, if you're at the end of your rope, hope is on the other side. And so I would say just reach out, go to someone, DM me, right? If you're struggling. The other thing is an acronym that I have for hope, and that is hold on, purpose endures. So when it looks like everything is falling down around you, be steadfast in your commitment to yourself, because you matter. This world needs you, but we need you well. We need you healthy. We need you okay. So I would say to you, hold on, purpose endures. And if stuff falls down, as long as it ain't you falling down, I'm okay with that.
Yes.
So that's what I would say.
Yeah, for sure. Because we're always thinking about everybody else instead of ourselves.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're not doing that. Like, we're not doing that anymore. 2025 and beyond, we're not doing that because it doesn't serve anyone at all. Like, I talk about, so the company that I have now is about allyship. And I talk about, we got to first be allies to ourselves.
Yes.
Right? And if all of us get better, the cumulative effect is that the world is better. White men get better, Black women get better, Latino folks, we're all better. But that starts with us.
Yeah,
Starts with
definitely.
each of us.
I was just talking to someone the other day about the fact that we need to love ourselves more.
Yes.
Because the world is the way that it is because we don't love ourselves. We are miserable. Not we, because I'm not miserable.
Come on now.
I feel good.
Clarify.
I feel great. But people are miserable, and they want other people to also be miserable.
Yes.
And the example that I would use, and this is probably like something that other people experience. So I shared in the beginning that I'm adopted, but I've known my mother my whole life. And she is obsessed with weight. Absolutely obsessed. And as we talked about, like, I'm the first in my family to do a lot of different things. So there's not a lot that she can say to me about anything else. But weight is always the thing. So she will see me after not seeing me for years because she's my biological mom. So I don't have like a huge relationship with her, but we text each other. I see her from time to time. And she makes it her point to chop me down, like, whenever she sees me. And I have lost 50 pounds over the last year and a half.
Come on, sis.
So when she saw me before Christmas, she was like, how much you weigh now? That was the second thing she said to me. Like, hey, how are you doing? And also, how much do you weigh now? And
okay, but pause, because we're not going to slide by the fact that you done lost 50 pounds. Because you did that. And I hope you are proud of you.
Oh, I feel so good. I feel good in my body, girl.
Good.
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, that hurt. Like, it hurt that she still was so obsessed. And I told her how much I weighed. And I was like, why are you so obsessed with weight? And she was like, I was just asking. And it was like, I'm just asking as in, I felt two ways. It was kind of like, I'm just asking, like, I'm your mama and you need to answer.
Yeah.
But also second, like, why you mad at me for asking? Yeah. You know, like, it just felt really icky and weird. And then, girl, then she says, because last time I saw you, you was, Crystle. And I was just like, sometimes people just, like, that is what they have to have for themselves. They have to be able to make you feel bad about something, to chop you down, so then they feel better about themselves. Yeah. And I'm just like, she just gonna be who she is. Like, and all I can do is set boundaries with her to say, I'm gonna see you once every few years, and I will send you text messages, and maybe we might get on a phone call, but I'm not gonna put myself in situations where you make me feel terrible about myself. Because you need to love yourself more. If you loved yourself more, then you wouldn't be worried about me and how much I weigh, or any other person, how much it is that they weigh.
No, that's true. And the crazy thing is your excellence. Like, as Black women, our excellence can be an affront to other people, other Black women, other people who don't look like us. And so you have to be firmly planted in who you are and okay with who you are. Yes. Because you'll still have things that hurt. People gonna say stuff, it's gonna hurt. I don't know who came up with sticks and stones will break my bones, but words don't ever hurt me. Words hurt.
They hurt so
bad. They have the power to transform, to change lives, and to tear down. Yeah. But when you are rooted and anchored in who you are and who God has called you to be, it hurts a little less. Yeah. And it helps you build a strategy for how you need to navigate moving forward. Like, you were like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to move forward. But just imagine a woman sitting in your seat who it's like, oh, I have to subject myself to that.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Well, girl, the last time I saw her and she was talking about my weight when I was larger, that was me. I was like, what do I do with this? Like, it's my mom. Like, I can't disrespect her.
Right.
And it's just, it was very hard because I didn't feel good. I wasn't loving myself enough. And when we do love ourselves enough, like, we create those boundaries.
Yes.
And we put ourselves first, and we know that we're inherently worthy. All the things that we're talking about today, like, we are first. Like, everything else is secondary.
Everything else. I love me. Like Snoop Dogg said, I want to thank me for being there for me. You know, like, so it's funny. I always, like, when I define allyship, it's the intentional act of aligning with behaviors that are in the best interest of everyone. And what's in the best interest of everyone is for me to first take care of me.
Yeah.
That's in everyone's best interest, because if I'm okay, I could be a better mother, I could be a better partner, I could be a better daughter, I could be a better, consultant. But if I'm not okay, you get fragmented pieces of who I am.
Yeah.
And so I don't make any apologies for that at this point in my life.
Yeah, girl. We're not apologizing for none of it. None of it.
We're going to rest.
Yes.
And we're going to have hope.
Yes. Yes, we are. So that's what I'm taking away. We're going to rest and we're going to have hope.
Yes.
I'm taking away, go on FMLA. If you need to go on FMLA, get those doctor's notes, get that signature, and use your benefits. And then what is the last one? Hope. What is the acronym for hope?
Hold on. Purpose endures.
Hold on.
Purpose endures.
Purpose endures.
Yes.
I love it.
This is such a good one.
I love it so much. So tell people where they can find you online and how they can work with you.
Yeah, so you can find me online anywhere at Hope Dealer BK. And you can reach out to me at amplifyallyship.com. If you're an organization who wants to use allyship as your competitive business advantage, thinking about the sunsetting of DEI programs and initiatives, I got you. Reach out to me. I have a deep background in leading DEI and people strategy at some of the world's largest organizations, and I would be honored to go on a journey of allyship with your team.
All right, then.
Thank you, sis.
You're welcome.
I love
Thank
this.
you so much. I loved it,
It was
too.
so much fun.
such
We
a
should do it again.
Yeah, I would love that. I would love that. And I would love to join you on your tour.
Yes, please.
It's going to be amazing.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a lot.
Absolutely.
And we're going to rest. So I need to talk about how do we, build that in, because I hadn't thought about that.
It's going to happen. It's
get it
definitely
done.
going to happen.
Get it done.
So thank you so much for this conversation. And I want to say thank you to everyone who is tuning in and who has heard today about hope as liberation. Make sure that you take those tips and implement them, because we need to be well.
We have to be well.
Yeah. Well, see you next time.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of We Ain't Dying for This, a Black woman's guide to liberation. Catch up on previous episodes on the Living Corporate Network and on YouTube. You're also invited to join our exclusive community for access to early episode releases, exclusive content, live events, and more.